Hey guys, my name is Sam. Welcome to Fit Social. This is your 45-minute restorative flow. Today you're going to use a strap. So if you've got one of these at home, that's awesome. If not, a towel is perfect. A block or two. And you're going to use those throughout your practice. And if you have a bolster would be awesome as well. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a blanket or a shirt and just roll it up. Even a pillow from your bed, that works too. And if you have nothing or you're outside, body weight is amazing. So we'll get started here. Okay, come onto your mat. And even if you don't have a mat, that's fine. Weather's getting nicer, you can go out on your deck, just put a towel down. And as always, we're just gonna get started in child's pose. So this time, we're gonna take child's pose with our knees together, hips on your heels, and then just bring your forehead either to the block or to the ground. And you're gonna take your hands out by your feet. You can even grab onto your ankles or place your palms face up. Eyes open or closed. And so what we're doing right here is just starting to open up the hips. Regulate your breathing. Get set in your eyes, your drishti, your focus. And today we're going to take it really slow, so no need to rush or move. And if you hear me go silent, we're still here. You're going to start to feel it here in the outside of your hips. Try to relax in your upper body and just pressing into your shins. And then start to bring your hands out in front of you and move your knees out to the side. Toes touch. And then a traditional child's pose, arms out in front, forehead to the ground or to your block. And even bring your elbows onto the floor. Arms out wide in a V shape. We're going to work with the element of earth in this class, just grounding down. Working with gravity. Great, and start to bring your elbows up. Pressing your hands into the floor. Your hands are out wide and your pinky fingers just slightly come off of the mat. Start to pull your shoulder blades onto your back and press your hands in. Get long through your upper body. And fully breathe in and out through your lungs. Notice your chest rise. And fall. From here, again, place your hands down. Start to just move your body weight forward. You can come onto your toes, shift your weight forward. And press back. Walk your knees underneath your hips. Keep your arms out in front of you and take your arm, reach all the way up towards the ceiling. And then go through so that your palm faces up. Right hand down. You're creating a 90-degree bend in your right elbow. Left fingers point up towards the ceiling. And every inhale, you lengthen your spine. Every exhale, you twist. Set your eyes.
For a bright side, mama, ever since about the day I was born. Always headed for
all right, and then you're going to come right back up, reach to the ceiling. Hand down, right arm up. And then flow through, palm up, press down into your left hand, take the twist.
And I was looking for a bright side, mama, when you took me and you set me down slow. You calm my nerves, ease my mind, and you hit me with the heat, and you show me what the real thing is. Bright lights are blinded, and I need reminded that my light shines brightest when I see the bright side.
Great job, come on up. Hands back down to the floor. We're going to take a downward facing dog. Step your feet back, nice and long. Bend your knees, press your hips up, heels back. Pedal out your knees. Nice and slow. But I'm yours if you want me. I'm yours. Walk your feet and your hands together into your mat. Feet hips width distance apart. And then grab opposite elbows. Drop the crown of your head. We're not going to do much standing, but just again here, bringing in the element of earth. Press your feet into the floor. And then there's that water element, that flow in your knees, in the front of your body. Your forward fold might look like this. Might look like this. It's okay. You're hinging from your hips. So your knees can be as bent as you need so that your chest can come onto the top of your thighs. Let your spine get long, and then you press down into your heels. Lift as you inhale and settle in.
The bright side of you. When I see the bright side of
Little
you.
sway.
Bright side of you.
And then put your right hand down to the ground. Left hand starts at your hip. You're opening up and then reaching up towards the ceiling. Right knee is bent. Left leg is straight. And then other side. You're going to bend your left knee. Straighten your right leg. Reach up. Come on back down. You're going to come into a seat. And then a couple of options here. You're going to bring one foot out in front of the other. So you can just keep your shins there. Otherwise, we're going to take our left knee and bend our left knee so there's a straight line between your hip and your knee. And then your right foot's going to come on over, cross over your leg. Opposite arm to opposite knee, elbow comes in. Lift up your spine and then twist. You're going to take your right hand behind you. Every time you take a twist, you're going to breathe in long, and then exhale. Your upper body goes in and back. So again, the modification of this pose, you can just be legs out in front of you, opposite hand to opposite knee. Up and over. And then switch sides. Go back over. Right knee is going to go front of your body. Left leg crosses. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. Reach up. Press both of your hip bones down into the floor. So start there. And then take your hands and lift back. Up. Lifting through the crown of your head and then going to the back of the room. Bodies on consignment, return to the circus. And what is the purpose? What is the purpose? And would you believe it? Would you believe it if you knew what you were for and how you became? And the modification. Leg crossed out in front. Opposite hand to opposite knee. And twist. I'll stay persistent and I'll make a difference and I will have lived it. All right. And then we are going to take opposite, just a crisscross seated position. Take a little bit of movement through our hands and our wrists. Moving your wrist around. Little circles out. And then back around. Start to open up your fists. Spread out your hands nice and wide. Press out. And then squeeze your hands in. One more out. And in. This practice is a great recovery. You're going to take both of your hands together, interlace your palms, press your hands to the front of your body, pulling your spine back, so you're creating like a basketball hoop. I give thanks each day that I wake. I will pray. And then reach your hands up and over your head. Yeah, if you guys ever need a rest day, this is perfect right here. A little bit of something for your whole body. Release your hands, interlace them behind your low back, press your chest forward and up. And the day that I don't wake up and transcend all the makeup, and then maybe you can forward fold. I am powerful. The day that I don't wake up and transcend all the makeup, I am on my way to a different place. Great variation for any of these things where you're taking your hands behind your back, taking the strap, like so. Hands together in the strap, and then reaching up. Awesome. Then you're going to bring your legs out in front of you. Nice and easy. And this is where you're going to bring in your bolster, your blanket. And you're just going to sit to the very edge. So you're going to bring your hips onto the edge of the bolster. And it's going to give you that same hinge. So when we did that standing fold, it's going to give you that hinge here. You're going to bend your knees. If you have a block or two, you can place them underneath your knees. Or if you have another bolster or a blanket, great spot for that to go here. You're going to keep both of your feet flexed, toes point back towards your body. And again, the emphasis is your hips here. So you're going to reach up, and then you're going to forward fold, and just go as far as you can. So your hands can come to your feet, or to the fronts of your shins, or down to the ground. Maybe even take your strap here, strap around your feet, bend your elbows, and fold. We're going to take some time here. So if you'd like to, you can take your block, bring your hands, your elbow to your block, and your head, just like a little cup in your hand. So if you're really tight here, you're just giving yourself a little bit of balance. But if you're really looking for a deeper stretch, then you can just continue to go. And then walk your knees down, walk your heels forward. Reset. Breathe in, lift up. And then continue to forward fold. No right or wrong way. You're going to continue to press your inner ankles, just back and down into the floor. That's going to wake up your whole back of your legs, all right here in the inner fronts of your thighs. So there's not much movement here. And your shoulders, you want to keep them back to keep the alignment in your spine. And the longer you stay, the longer you notice that you've got a little bit more room to move. And your head doesn't come down, straight down. The crown of your head is always reaching forward. You want to look to where you're going. You want to look ahead of you. Yeah, you want to look towards your power, straight ahead. That drishti always goes forward. Few more breaths here. And then slowly start to come on up. You're going to take your left foot into the inside of your right inner thigh. Same thing, you're going to come up just to the edge of your bolster. And then this time, you're going to reach your right arm up and over, and you're going to bring your elbow either onto the ground, so forearm onto the ground, or hand onto a block. And same thing, you're going to reach up with your left arm, reach up and over, bend your elbow, and just rest your arm on your head. And then you're creating that same little handle, that cup for your head, stretching the whole left side of your body. Couple of options. Fingers can go long or rest there. And then as you breathe, you're going to continue to lift your left lung all the way up. Try stacking your shoulders on top of one another. And it might be a little bit uncomfortable to stay so slow to not move. That's kind of what that whole parallel process is going on right now, being home. And so this is a perfect practice. And then slowly come on up. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to move over so you can see me. So you're coming to the edge of that bolster, right foot into the inner thigh. Shifting your hips, shifting your shoulders to be in alignment with your left leg. Using that block, reaching up and over, forward to the front of your mat, taking your head to your hands. Right arm reaches over, and then you can bring your elbow right to your head. Same thing here, if your knee needs to be bent. And just stay, settle in. There's a whole other meaning that when I say connect down with the earth, if you're practicing outside. As the weather gets warmer and nicer, absolutely, definitely encourage you to take this outside. Maybe you want to take it a little bit further, reach up and over. And then slowly come on out. Great. So now, a little bit of movement, just out of those seated postures. We're going to come on to, let's see, where do I want to go with this? Let's do one more seat. And take our bottoms of our feet together. Knees out wide. And then again, use your props. You can take your block to the feet. Bring your head down to the block. Hands to your ankles and press your elbows into the insides of your knees and start to let your body sink down. Also, maybe you don't want to use the block. A little bit more in your upper chest. Shoulders start to pull back. And then if you have no block, you hinge the crown of your head forward. Eyes open. And you're even going to feel it in the back of your body. And then release. Okay. A little bit of action into the hips. So you're going to come on to lizard pose. Right foot comes forward, left leg comes back. The modification is to keep your hands up. So your right hand is going to come to the inside of your right foot. And you start right here with a straight left leg, right foot down. And there's like a little W with your first fingers and your thumbs. And then maybe this is enough. This is enough work. Otherwise, you're going to take your right foot and you're going to peel it open so that you come onto the pinky toe edge side of your foot. Starting to open up in your hip. And then your left heel is going to stay stacked over the balls of your feet. You want to take it a little bit deeper. Bottom knee comes down or back knee comes down. Walk your hands out and coming onto your forearms. You start to notice your thoughts wandering. Just bring your attention just back to your breath. And we're going to stay here for a little bit. You're going to feel very tight in your hips, I'm sure. And that's okay. I just encourage you to stay right here. Spine is long. So your eyes, you're looking just in front of your mat. Maybe there's a little speck on the floor that you can focus on. Bring your attention back to that space in front of your mat and to your breath. Try to breathe fully all the way down into your hip. And then you're going to switch sides. You're going to bring your hands back. Come on up to that higher modification. Bring your right foot down to the ground. And then just heel toe your foot back, step back, maybe a downward facing dog. And then left foot comes forward. Left hand comes in. Set up, press the floor away from you or the ground away from you. And then open up. You're going to lift your toes and then open over towards the left side of your mat. You might even feel this a little bit in your shoulders when you're pressing your hands into the floor and keeping the floor away from you and the body away from you. And if you're right here, that's awesome. Perfect. Maybe you just drop your knee. And that's the next level for you. Or maybe you bring your hands down. And I give you lots of options, and at the same time, I really encourage you to take it to the next step. If you think you have a little bit more to give, go there. You want to be really intentional in your feet. Toes are lifted, foot is flexed. All of the alignment in your body, all the way up to your knees, your hips, starts in your feet. Few more breaths. And then start to slowly come out. Heel toe your foot. Back around. Walk your knees out to the corner of your mat. And we're going to come down into child's pose. This time we're just going to take our elbows out long and then curl your toes under whatever works best for you. Your feet can be out. And you're going to bring your hands, palm of your hands together. Press down into your elbows. And then you're on the backs of your arms, stretching through all the way underneath your arms here. Eyes stay open. slowly lower your hands down. Walk your hands back, tabletop. Few rounds of cat-cow, just getting into your breath. And I encourage you to allow yourself just to flow. So bend your elbows as much as you need, press up. And then really just move. Hips come up and back. Elbows out. Inhale, look up. And out. A few more, your own pace. Side to side. And then hands to the front of your mat, downward facing dog. Our next pose, we're going to hold for a little bit, and I'm going to give you two options. So you're going to look to the front of your hands. Shift your weight forward, and then you're going to take your right foot for half pigeon pose underneath your left wrist. Again, foot is flexed, knee comes down, back knee comes down. Walk your hands back so that you can hinge forward. Awesome to take a bolster or a block underneath your sit bone on your right side. And then you can take your other prop here. Again, foot is flexed. Leg is parallel with the side of the mat. Set yourself up. And half pigeon pose. So I'm going to come back here, but sometimes that's a little too much for people. So the supine version of this is just lying on your back, crossing your right leg over your left, and then taking your right hand through to interlace your hands behind your leg, and then pulling back. Again, both feet are flexed. So two options for half pigeon, lying on your back. Also, if you need to use the strap for this, you got it. Otherwise, we're here.
I am resilient. I trust the movement. I negate the chaos. Uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again.
And then you're going to switch sides. So your left foot's going to come over. Right leg back. If you're lying on your back, just the other way. Left leg comes over your right.
These times are poignant.
Yeah, maybe you've got your bolster. Do it this way so you can see. Bolster just underneath your sit bones. Your leg is parallel with the side of your mat. Foot is flexed. And then you hinge. And release.
Prayers to the waters, women at the center, all vessels open to give and receive. Let's see the system brought down to its knees. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh.
And your spine is always straight. So maybe you're not all the way down. Maybe you're here. Hinge comes from your low back. All right, and then let it go.
I'm made of lightning. I'm made of dirt.
Here we are. We're coming down onto your back. We're going to take a block. or the bolster, and come into fish pose. So I'll show you with the bolster. You're just gonna really simply, really gently start to lie on your back here. Hands out to your sides. Toes are pointed out. If you've got a block, I encourage you to take the block between your shoulder blades. Maybe use the bolster and the block. Point your toes. That's it. So good with the block. Let your shoulders fall out. Might take a minute just to find the right spot, but you know when you're there. What are you gonna do about it when the world comes undone? My voice feels tiny, and I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty roar. Trust the movement, I negate the chaos, uplift the negative. I'll show up at the table again and again and again. I'll close my mouth and learn to listen. Perfect lyrics. So resilient, all of us. I know you Fit Social yogis, you restorative folks, you could stay here probably half a class. So good. So when you're working out, your body's always going in, you're constricting your body. And here we just allow ourselves to open up. So I give you two options. If you want to stay in the upper body like this, you may. And then just walk your feet in to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And if it's a little bit too much for you to do both at the same time, gonna just take the block to the side, bolster to the side, come down to lying on your back, and then just walk your shoulder blades in. One hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, or hands down to your leg to give a little assist. So just as we were when we were seated, bottoms of your feet together. And you want to pay attention to the back of your neck. So you want the back of your head long. And your eyes are straight up. Maybe your knees are here. Awesome variation too, you guys. If you've got two bolsters, two blankets, something like that, you're welcome to take them underneath your knees. But if that's not doing anything for you, let it go. And just settle in. Another option, if it's too tight, you can bring your feet out away from your body. Or if you're ready to move a little bit deeper into your hips, you can bring your heels closer to your pelvic floor. Again, we're doing the opposite of what we're doing during fitness. So much of our fitness classes, we're bringing our body in. Might be a little uncomfortable here. And that's why it's important. It's important to get out of your comfort zone. It's important to try new things. It's important to give your body rest. And then start to close your knees together like a book. Hug in. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And then if you've got your strap or a towel, you can take your strap around your left foot. Left hand out to the side, right leg down. Cross over, eyes over towards the left. Also, if you don't have a strap, you can just take your fingers to toes or hand to knee, even hand to hip. I love to take the block right underneath my knee. What we're really doing here is the upper and the mid spine. And then switch sides. You want to bring your block, you come on over to the outside, leg to the block, left shoulder down, both shoulders on the ground, right arm comes out, and focus on the exhale. You notice my right foot is still flexed. You can see your belly rise and fall. And then slowly release that out. Let it go. Both feet out to the corners of your mat. Shoulders underneath you. Palms out by your side. In your final resting pose, your eyes can close. If you've got a lavender pillow, something to really embrace this last posture. Totally sinking your body down into the earth. Eyes closed. Deep rest. Nothing to do, nothing to fix, just stay. And then take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to slowly come on up into a seat. We can come onto your side. Press your hands into the floor. You can keep your eyes closed here. Legs crossed out in front of you. Hands to your heart or hands to your knees. And just to take a few deep breaths. In and out through your mouth. One more. In and out. Thank you guys so much for spending the last 45 minutes with me in Fit Social, taking time to wind down, listen to your body, active recovery. It's wonderful, perfect balance with all of your other fitness here. Have a great day. Namaste.